Hi everyone, I'm Emma, and you're on the Stories by Emma channel. Let's dive into some amazing stories. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. The Auction House. Detective Olivia Cole had dealt with her share of high-profile cases, but the disappearance of the rare Imperial sapphire during an elite auction was something else entirely. The sapphire had been the crown jewel of the night's event, expected to fetch over $10 million. The theft had happened in plain sight, with dozens of high-profile attendees present, yet no one had seen a thing. Olivia stood in the grand hall of the auction house, the once gleaming room now a crime scene. Security footage showed nothing unusual, just the moment the sapphire was unveiled, and then inexplicably it vanished from its display case. She knew this wasn't a simple theft. It had all the hallmarks of a well-executed inside job. After speaking with the event organizers, Olivia turned her attention to the guest list. A mix of business magnates, art collectors, and politicians filled the room that night. But one name caught her eye: Vincent Hale, a notorious figure with ties to underground smuggling rings. Hale had been unusually quiet in recent months, and his presence at the auction raised alarm bells. Olivia wasted no time. She pulled Hale's file and saw a pattern. He had been linked to several art thefts in Europe, though nothing had ever stuck. This time she was determined to make him slip up. She began digging deeper into his recent transactions, looking for any connection to the Imperial sapphire. Her investigation took her to a private club frequented by Hale and other elite players in the black market. With a subtle disguise, Olivia blended into the crowd, keeping her eyes on Hale as he mingled with guests. He was calm, too calm, as if he knew more than he was letting on. Olivia waited for the right moment, her instincts telling her this was where she'd find her breakthrough. As the night wore on, Hale finally stepped away from the crowd, heading towards the back of the club. Olivia followed, her heart racing as she kept her distance. He entered a private room, and she caught a glimpse of a briefcase in his hand. Could it be the sapphire? Before she could get closer, a hand grabbed her arm. She turned to face a man she hadn't seen before: security. He demanded to know her business in the club, and for a brief moment, Olivia feared her cover was blown. Thinking quickly, she flashed her badge, insisting she was on official police business. The man hesitated, but eventually let her pass. Inside the private room, Olivia saw Hale talking to a familiar figure, Layla Monroe, the auctioneer from the night of the theft. Olivia's pulse quickened. This wasn't just an inside job. It was a coordinated effort between Hale and Monroe. They had played everyone in the room, making the theft look like an impossible crime, while they walked away with the prize. As she listened from the shadows, their conversation confirmed her suspicions. Hale and Monroe planned to sell the sapphire on the black market, splitting the profits. But Olivia wasn't ready to strike just yet. She needed evidence, and she knew the sapphire was close. She decided to follow them, waiting for the moment they'd reveal its location. The next day, Olivia tracked Hale and Monroe to a private airfield on the outskirts of the city. From a distance, she watched as they boarded a private jet, the briefcase still in Hale's hand. It was now or never. She called in backup, her team arriving just as the jet's engines roared to life. With sirens blaring, Olivia and her team blocked the runway, guns drawn. Hale stepped off the plane, his cool demeanor gone, replaced by a look of frustration. Monroe tried to run but was quickly apprehended. Olivia approached Hale, her eyes on the briefcase. He handed it over with a smirk as if to say, "You won this time." Back at the station, Olivia carefully opened the briefcase, and there it was, the Imperial sapphire, glimmering under the harsh fluorescent lights. The theft had been solved, but Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that Hale had let her win. Something about his surrender felt too easy. A week later, as the city buzzed with news of the recovered sapphire, Olivia received an anonymous tip. The voice on the other end simply said, "You've only scratched the surface." Before she could respond, the line went dead. She sat there staring at her phone, knowing this case was far from over. Olivia began retracing her steps, questioning everything she thought she knew about the sapphire and Hale's involvement. She realized the theft had been a distraction, a way to cover up something much bigger. But what? As she dug deeper, she found traces of a larger operation. One that involved not just art theft, but political corruption and international smuggling. The case had only just begun. As Olivia pieced together the clues, she realized that Hale had been playing a long game, and the Imperial Sapphire was just the bait. Now she was in deeper than ever, and the stakes had never been higher.